What do you need to cruise safely on your own? Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. When you're on your own, it opens up a whole new kettle of fish. I'm a bit fortunate on this boat that it's set up pretty well for single-handed cruising. Some of the things I've got are wide side decks with very high bulwarks. This gives you a really good sense of security when you're moving around on the boat. I don't leave deck level when I'm at sea. I stay on the deck. I don't go up on the roof or do anything crazy like that. And I don't step out over the bulwarks. So I won't get out and do anything on the duckboard while we're at sea. There's other things you can do. You can wear a life jacket, and inflatable life jackets are probably the best way to go. And just recently I purchased a personal EPIRB, and this is just another layer of safety when I'm out there by myself. It pays to have a little bit of engineering skill. At the very least, know how to bleed your diesel engine if you've got a diesel boat. If something goes wrong out there, it's going to be expensive for someone to come and help you, but maybe impossible. So you really need to know your way around your motor a little bit and know how to fix some of the minor problems. At the very least, know how to bleed your diesel, because a big problem diesel motors have is a bug that gets into the fuel, and you can fix that easily by replacing filters. But if you replace the filters, then you'll probably have to bleed the engine to get it going again. So it's pretty important you know how to do that. Depending on your boat, you might want to wear a lanyard and a harness. A lot of yachts run sidelines and harness themselves on, and this is definitely a good idea, especially on yachts that have quite low handrails and no bulwarks to walk around on. So this being a work boat with high bulwarks has been fantastic as far as making me feel safe when I'm out there on my own. Know how to use your VHF radio and your HF radio if you've got one on board. These can be a lifeline sometimes. I always log with VMR or Coast Guard before I make a trip. Let someone know that you're out there. Don't rely on your mobile phone, because a lot of times your mobile simply won't work. You'll be out of range. So use your VHF. You're going to get better coverage out of your VHF when you're at sea than you are out of your mobile phone. So make sure you know how to use it and get used to logging on and logging off with VMR and Coast Guard. Know how to use the EPIRB on your boat. If you're not going to carry a personal one, know how to use your satellite driven EPIRB, and make sure you're carrying one. Be familiar with how your flares work. If you've got an inflatable life raft, know how that works. Know how to inflate it. Make sure that it's set up properly so that it will self-inflate if your boat turns over suddenly. These are all things you should be aware of. I think I'm safer at sea on my boat than I am in a car driving down the highway. My main concern is fire on board, and you've got to be very aware of that, but I carry some good extinguishers. As far as fire extinguishers go, carry big extinguishers. The little ones that you see on a lot of boats, they only last for about 5 minutes and probably won't put out any sort of decent fire. So get yourself a decent sort of fire extinguisher, know how to use it. Make sure you've got a fire bucket with a lanyard on board too. This can be handy. Definitely know how your bilge pumps work. You have to know how your bilge pumps work and how to operate them. Don't rely on the automatic ones. This boat was built to survey and has a pretty comprehensive bilge pumping system. Being in survey, the hulls have single compartment buoyancy, so that means that each hull has 5 separate compartments that are watertight. I can pump out of all of those compartments with my bilge pumping system, so chances of being holed in one compartment and sinking are quite minimal. But all boats won't be like this, so make sure that you know how your bilge pumping works. Make sure it's functioning properly, make sure it's big enough to move a lot of water at once. No good having just small bilge pumps when you've got a lot of water coming in. Be aware of actions you can take to stop water getting into your boat. It might be a broken hose, you could maybe use some tape to wrap around it. Maybe a hole in the hull, you could push a pillow or something into it, or hang something over the outside of it to stop the ingress of water. All of these things are important, and they are more important if you're on board by yourself, because it's going to really tax you sometimes when things do go wrong. Okay, every boat's different, so I can't talk for everyone, but I hope this info has been of some use to you. The main thing is to get out there and cruise. You'll enjoy it. I absolutely love it, and to be honest, I don't really mind being out there on my own.